All right, this is Randalicious. Welcome to the 80th Hexis podcast. In this podcast, we'll be discussing updates that happened in the last month, including the Darkmire release, Agility that came out with it, the Gillinor Gazette for June, and more. Podcast, all future Hexis podcasts are on YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, every other place that you get your podcasts. The Hexis Discord is open to the public. I'm going to be re-adding a bot to it today or tomorrow, so you can submit topics for the podcast in here, and that's going to be what we're primarily going to be using for getting topics now. And submit a topic in there and get a shout out on the next podcast for your submission. Get it going, Randalicious, and I'm the leader of Hexis.
Abra, Bronzestar, and Hexis, hopeless speedrunner.
Hello, Hadj, 2 bananas in Hexis.
I'm Ooktism, captain of the #1 Child's Play OSR Skilling Clan Soulless and #1 Iron Man P.
I'm Mort Myre. I was invited to talk about Sepulcher.
The extraordinaire. So one person asked, like, why was it so long in between podcasts? I moved, and part of that moving process is difficult for me to be able to get on. Want organize. Still got some unpacking and other stuff to do. Like, I have a desk that's arriving in a week. Like, I've been here for 2 weeks now, but like I still got a desk that's not going to be here for another week. And yeah, I mean the adventures of home ownership, moving from an apartment into the home here. Got to learn how to mow the lawn. So there's certainly some things going on. I'm trying to learn. So I've mowed the lawn 3 times now, and I'm probably getting pretty close to doing it once. And I've cut down my efficiency on time. The first time it was like an hour and 10 minutes, and it was like 55 minutes. Because last time it was 35 minutes.
How big is your yard?
It's a little bit over half an acre.
I can't picture that. Never mind.
I'm trying to get like a mount, to where like I can mount like my tablet onto like the hood of my lawnmower. So I think that'll be fun. But we got there's in the Hexis Discord there. You see there's a 72-hour trio EHP comp starts next week, June 26th through the 28th. Feel free to join that, get some info on it, and message Dan with your roster and team name if you want to participate. All right, so we have 2 people who first time on the podcast. You guys care to give yourself a little bit longer of an introduction? What are your guys' goals, play style? Give the people what they want.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm Hadj. I'm a maxed level 3, going for a couple 200 mil skills. I also play 2 Blood Rune alts. I'm streaming occasionally on Twitch about 3 or 4 times a week. I also spend a lot of time on old school mobile app. Probably a fourth of my playtime comes from mobile. I'm working on rune crafting and farming, and yeah, thanks for having me on the podcast.
Gaming.
I'm Mort Myre. I have a max main, and I like to do Inferno speedruns. Oh, sorry.
No. That I had you way too loud. Go ahead.
Okay. And currently, my goals are I'm making a Ultimate Iron Man that I want to try to get a low-level Infernal Cape on.
I like that.
What level are you aiming for?
I want to try to get the lowest combat UIM Infernal, which I don't think will actually be that hard. It's something sub 100. I think I could get it around 90 pretty easy.
That shouldn't be bad.
You're gonna do it with or without a twisted bow?
I'm going to do it ring crossbow.
Oh, big. I imagine you probably would have saw that. We weren't planning on talking about it on the podcast, but I imagine you probably saw that there was some dude who got like a Inferno Cape at 40 combat the other day.
Oh, exact. Yeah, I watched his run. That was crazy.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
it was a really, really good run.
Pretty wild. What was his combat level when he started?
I think like 38 or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
I was very very curious what his starting levels were going to be.
Man was using Firebolt on the healers.
Yeah, he firebolted during a lot of the waves as well, so he didn't gain range XP.
Yeah, no,
He like really kept his combat low. He did a good job.
That's good. Oh, good for him. All right, so move on to the Darkmire release here, and when Darkmire released, the game had to be rolled back and was shut down for nearly 4 hours. Were you guys on during this period? And if you were, what did you do to pass the time? What do you think about the temporary shutdown that they had? And their reason for shutting it down was that apparently there was 1,141 items that were owned by 846 players that were released with like incorrect IDs. So I don't know exactly what kind of impact that could have potentially had, but that was their reasoning.
Right, so to my recollection, what that was Ancestral with the Twisted Ornament kits. It just turned into like a null item, basically, or whatever. So yeah, that was pretty messed up. But no, I actually wasn't even home at the time. I was at work, and I got home, and then I was like, all right, it's Thursday. Let's read the update. All right, this is what's going on, and then let's hop on. I was like, oh, why am I not surprised that something horrible went wrong on release? But no, I wasn't even playing.
Yeah. Well, I just like slept through the whole thing, but I get called a Jagex simp for this, but they got like a lot of hate for this, and like whenever this kind of stuff happens, and it's actually surprising that this kind of stuff doesn't happen more often, given that it's an MMO that updates every. And other games I've played have this kind of stuff happen much more often than RuneScape. So it's really not that big of a deal in my opinion.
It really wasn't. I don't even understand how it happens.
Code is tricky.
Spaghetti.
I was not on. Actually, I was fishing on my phone, and then I saw that was going on, so I ended up to pass the time. I just played some Call of Duty Mobile. I didn't really have anything I could word. Feel for Jebram, who took off work for that, because he was trying. That was gonna be like the final push for 1 bill agility for him, and with that, I thought that was funny for him.
That's like a third tier of the old meme. It's like dropped out for whatever, homeless for 200 mil, unemployed for Scepter. I don't know.
So I wasn't able to be online because updates are at like 3 a.m. for me. But do you know what like the impact of the incorrect item IDs was? Because if it was like with the ancestral kits, that could be bad. Like people might not be able to equip them,
Yeah,
or they might just
it was
disappear or something.
it was with the ancestral stuff. Yeah,
It was basically just nulled. Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
it's just like a null item, they can't use it, or
I don't know. They didn't really give a whole lot of information of what the possible impact of it could have been. I think maybe that, like, wouldn't it have been? I mean, they were ahead of the game in turning it off, and
they shut it down within an hour.
Yeah, but I don't know what the potential worst case scenario would have been.
The case would be,
I guess, dupes.
No, I don't think dupes. It'd be more like just they lose it.
Okay. So
right.
Someone in the chat, saying that it disappeared when you tried to withdraw it. So.
it disappeared.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not good.
If you try to unequip or withdraw a null, it's not going to give you anything.
Because I know, like, in the past, when they've tried to roll back single things for specific players, it's been, like, really messy and taken a long time.
You have to do things, like, globally to have any sort of reliability.
Rolling back the server might have been a better option for that then.
Yeah, no, it was the best option.
Yeah, it was like 3 a.m. for me as well. So I wasn't active during.
A lot of people probably weren't online.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm glad that it was taken care of quickly. Like they're usually on top of this sort of thing, and I know it took a little bit of time, but I'm glad they caught it quick.
I think the update was an hour earlier than usual. So like it usually would have been like 5 a.m. for me, but I think it was 4 instead.
Mm. Yeah, I think Ook had a really good point. Like, we should be pretty grateful for how often the game is online. You know, there can pretty much always hop on and never have any issue with logging in. I know we've had like connection issues, and that's one thing, but the game is pretty good in just being available. I
Even
think
just as a ratio, regardless, it's generally pretty good. Even when there are issues, if you look at the whole history, it's been pretty good. It's just locally sometimes there's attacks and whatever that it's bad.
yeah. Again, like I think that it's best that they have, you know, the game shut down for like talk about it, but like last time that they had to shut the game down for a little bit, I wouldn't hate if, you know, the game was offline more often.
Hey, when you talk about this, stop saying that, man.
I remember, I think it was around Song of the Elves or whatever. I think it was the Coin Pouch dupe when that was going on. They had it shut down for like 6 hours. I was just playing another game.
I was sitting there waiting for the servers to come back online. I hated it.
Yeah, it was fun.
What was the longest that the game had been shut down before?
I think that probably was it with that
Yeah.
coin pouch thing, which was like 6-ish hours.
That's pretty good turnaround.
Yeah, it is.
So how long was it down for Tebow spawn outside of Farming Guild?
Oh,
I think that was only like 2 hours. I didn't
Yeah, it
think
was only a few.
it was not that bad.
Yeah, pretty good then.
All right, so the Sins of the Father quest was, you know, released for Darkmire. If you completed it, what did you think about it? I think it was a quality quest. How was the lore for it?
Yeah, quest looks fun. I haven't finished it on any of the accounts, but I mean the quest itself looks pretty simple. But yeah, lore looks good.
I actually really liked the quest. I actually read like the chat dialogue for that quest, which truthfully I usually don't really do. But I enjoyed this one. I don't want to like spoil anything, but I'd be pretty surprised if it was the last quest line or the last quest in the quest line.
Did they leave
Oh,
it
it's definitely
with a
not. It's definitely
cliffhanger?
not. Yeah, it was a little bit
definitely
cliffhanger.
seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be completely on the no spoiler, 'cause I mean, like it's been out 2 weeks, but
Ruin it.
right. I'm not gonna like ruin it, but anyways, so just generally, how it went for me. I was reading like all the dialogue at first, but I kind of just stopped like decently early on. It was a pretty enjoyable quest. It was slightly annoying at first to do the following puzzle. You have to follow the dude and sleep. I like the final boss. It was actually a little bit difficult. Like I didn't die, but I had to go back in and do it again. And your protection prayers don't work, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, no, it was pretty good. I think I had more. I just forgot what I was going to say.
Well, but in deal
Yeah.
later on.
Mhm.
I'm just glad that they're coming out with quests.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say that there's a puzzle that's like slightly different for people. I don't think there was a solution on the wiki yet, but the puzzle in the graveyard was actually pretty fun to figure out. It's not exactly like, but it's just similar in terms of number. No, I guess it's not at all. But anyways, number puzzle. It was fun.
Yeah, I like the puzzle a lot too.
I really like some of the similar quest puzzles. Like, I'm not a fan of like the Morning's End or Song of the Elves light puzzles, but like, the Monkey Madness, the slidey puzzle, that's good, and then this one was good. There's probably some others that are good too.
Song of the Elves was a great puzzle. I thoroughly enjoyed that quest.
It was
I like
just
the
it was just so
Dragon Slayer 2 puzzle.
it was just so drawn out.
I did not like the Dragon Slayer.
It was like an hour to an hour and a half of just running around, mostly running around, and a little bit of touching mirrors. Anyways, go on.
I was just glad that they at least came out with a quest, you know, rather than releasing a large chunk of landmass or just content and having no real explanation for it, like Zaya.
Zaya, yep.
Hey guys, there was something there all along.
Yeah, you guys just didn't know.
no one ever decided to take a boat out west?
And Kempo Snowlands guy just
You-
appeared there as well.
You're telling me no one?
Yeah.
What are
Yeah,
they paying? What are they paying the people at Piscarilius for? They ain't do shit.
I don't know. You know, like with Zaya there, that reminded me, Uka, that when we were talking yesterday, when you sent me like those two globes next to each other.
Globus Polsky, baby.
Wait, what globes?
I'll post it in chat in a second.
All right, got me confused.
But like he posted this picture, and my response to it was just, "That is Zaya." You know, like just because of like how large the landmass it was. You know, for the less informed, you would think you know like
It was
bit-
bad on release.
Well, it was just like
It's in chat.
Oh, okay.
you know like Pangea sized. That is Zaya. All right, let's talk about the Dayalt Essence Mine release. So this Essence Mine can be 1.5 ticked or AFK'd. It can be 1.5 tick or AFK'd. It appears the content is perfect for Iron Man, but not something that one would realistically do on a main account. What do you think about the alternative, slightly more efficient and slightly more effort rune crafting method compared to like souls or bloods for irons? Would you consider doing this on your main at all now that it's been out? Because I know that we talked about a lot of the potential for it before release. Would you consider doing this on your main? Do you think it's balanced?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to AFK this, right? Like you
No.
would rather just do souls, right? So I think the Dayalt Essence is pretty desirable for Iron Men. And I mean, it's really balanced based on your input if you're going to tick it. But yeah, I'm not sure this would be very strong if you were AFKing it. If you're just considering the experience per hour, you'd probably just stick to soul runes. And I mean, if you're intimidated by like 1.5 tick skilling or any tick manipulation, really, like I recommend giving it a shot. You might think it might be too like challenging, maybe. But like you can do that on Volcano and like the Dayalt Mine. It just shows us that Jagex isn't afraid to release things that can be tick manipulated, so you might as well learn how to.
I'll be honest. I don't think it was intended. Like they removed.
I don't know.
it's exactly what
I was just gonna say. I think that they made it to the point to where, it would be like intentional to be able to be tick manipulated.
It's the exact mechanic
so
is
I disagree.
like
I
you
haven't
can already.
seen it, but I would imagine how it would work in terms of like being exactly like any other 1.5 ticks. That's why I don't think it was. Because I think they removed it when it was possible in VM.
Well, that was
I was
because
just gonna say-
in the VM dev blog, it specifically
Oh yeah,
said
because it actually had rates.
this
Yeah.
cannot. Well, no, Earl. It also specifically
Oh.
said this cannot be tick manipulated. And
All right,
then
all right.
day one, people started tick manipulating.
They copy pasted it from just a rune essence mine, and you can already 1.5.
Yeah. Right.
Like
But-
literal copy paste.
Basically, but I don't know. It was an interesting update. Like even when 1.5 ticking, if you're just looking at XP per hour, the marginal effective rate I think is only like 30k an hour. So definitely not really something you would do on a main, except if that's like the last skill you have or whatever, and you're just like a more casual player, then it's like all right, I don't even know then, because you just do souls or something. I don't really see this as being that relevant. Like you could say maybe on an iron you could use it at like ZMI or something, because you get runes too, which runes are good if you don't just want GP. But I didn't necessarily foresee that you'd have to go between the different essence things. So I guess you can't just completely zone out. You do have to be watching a little bit to click between. So I don't know if I'll actually end up doing it, because if I could just click it AFK for 5 minutes, then I could do it on the side while I'm still doing my speed runs and whatever. But with it moving, I don't know how often it moves. I don't see myself
every 55 to 60 seconds.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't work then, because I need reliably a couple minutes. Yeah, it's dead for me. if people enjoy it, good for them. But I don't see it as being that good, which is interesting because people were complaining that it wasn't good, but technically it wasn't pulled as a buff, and I think it's only a buff if you like. I think maybe if you 1.5 ticket, but only at like traditional spots up to like ZMI. Like people were just complaining that it wasn't a buff for like lavas.
I think that it was a lot less XP per hour than I was anticipating it being. So good on them that this didn't end up being something like balance wise. Good for them on it not being something wildly AFK and still incredibly powerful, not only for Iron Men but mains as well. I think
It's
that
one for two.
they did a pretty good job with the balancing of that, and since they have this, I think that they did a very fine job on the room crafting one.
As far as Iron Man goes, I think it's good to try to give them stuff that get them out of souls, because it's kind of bad like how good souls are for. And for mains, my opinion's definitely changed on this since I think we've talked about rune crafting on the Hexis podcast before, but for HLC in particular, I really like the current balancing of rune crafting and it rewards playing the game properly and all that. So I'm glad that they haven't released something like this and made it very broken and reward the players who didn't make GP.
That's fair.
And I also agree. It's like pretty sad that Irons should do Zaya like to 99 RC. It's like when I did rune crafting on my main, I really hated Zaya, and I would be sad if I was stuck there for the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
I think it's nice for there to be a higher effort alternative, because like I really like doing lavas, and it's not really realistic for Irons to train RC with that. So it's a little unfortunate. But it's good they have this now, I think.
Yeah, I feel like they had like kind of like a gap. You didn't have like a high effort rune crafting method for Iron Men, but
Yeah, it
maybe
was like you just had to drool on yourself and do it.
right for real.
Yeah. Well, the high effort, quote quote, only if you 1.5 ticket.
Oh, I was talking about Zaya, like
Yeah.
being low effort.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is that day alt is only quote quote high effort if you're 1.5 ticket, because then now it's just you're AFKing, but in two places instead.
How does the AFK at day alt compare to Zaya? Like,
I mean,
what's the XP?
Bad.
Similar-ish, because like even as Zaya, you have to like click back or like click to the other one when one depletes.
Mm.
But I don't know exactly the timing. It's probably about the same in terms of just the mining.
Although Zaya was good for irons to get blood runes if they had like a scythe or something, so a lot might still end up doing.
I mean, it's still just better to just do souls, make money other way, and buy blood runes for. So I don't think it changes too much for anyone like playing it seriously or caring about how fast they max.
Yeah, it's not that big of an update. Maybe they'll change it. We'll see.
Are you surprised that it wasn't more impactful?
Not at all, because we kind of had like leaked numbers that we discussed on a previous podcast, and we were like, "Yeah, that seems not that good." I think it was Curse that leaked it on Discord in another server, and we heard about that. It was like, "Yeah, it probably won't be good."
Yeah, like it was based on it being they have like the amount it buffs it by we already knew, and even if you got like an essence every tick, it wasn't going to be efficient. And we knew it wasn't going to be like, so there was just no way it could actually like be viable.
So you mean to tell me that them releasing the numbers prior to the release of the content, they were able to use that with player feedback on how to properly balance it?
Yeah, they did not keep
I'm not
that line
tracking.
of thought through the whole update.
All right, just checking. All right, anyone have any more on essence mining?
Not on Essence.
All right, so they came out with a new login screen competition. Of the final four that they had, which one was your guys' favorite? So I'll link the image in the chat here. Just A, B, C, or D. What one were you thinking looks best?
I kind of like D the most, just because it's like simple and it looks clean. The others are like a lot busier. I think D looks nice.
I liked C. Kind of the complete opposite of minimal, but I really like like I would say A or C. I mean, B and D, you're kind of like already in some kind of like building or castle or whatever it is, whereas C, you're more so on the outside getting to walk up, and I think visually that's better. But obviously, like, people do a fine job making these screens and everything. That made me go through the RuneLight like login screens that they have now. And I was going through all of them. Out of like all the login screens that they have, my favorite one is the Prif login.
I don't remember what it was right now, but I know it looked good.
Which one?
The Priff one. I just don't remember what it looks like right now, but I know it was.
Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, if you find it, just link it.
Wow,
Yeah, I love love when they do this.
All right, go ahead, Hadj.
Oh, I was just gonna say I love when they do this. Like have people vote on what they prefer and kind of implement it. So like B is like the winner is probably my favorite, but D was really close second. And then like C could have been up there for me if they like worked on it a little bit more. Because right now it's just kind of like busy but boring. Like it's just a castle, but C could have been the best.
Right, so just purely based off how they look, ignoring that, for C, yeah, it's got good detail, and it is my favorite just looking at it. But you got to remember this whole login screen, so it's going to be partially obscured by the interface. So keeping that in mind for a login screen, then I guess B would probably be the favorite. I feel it's the most representative, and it looks nice. A is okay, but D is a little too simple for me and doesn't quite tell any of the story of like it's not thematic at all.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you can at least see on B, like you got the Firewatch, you got the kind of vaguely Evandis detailing on the whatever, I don't know what to call them. They're like chalices, little torches. Yeah, so I guess as an actual login screen, I guess B, but just for the art itself, C.
Okay, so I linked the Prif login screen there. It's just so nice.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
I believe Istra linked the best one.
I'm scared to click it.
That is option E. that is a lot of Paul No Life going on in there.
I was actually like, I thought I didn't click on the link. I thought it was gonna be one of Dave.
It is a lot of Paul No Life. It's a good click. I recommend it.
I've seen a couple people using like K-pop people. Of course. I still have the default.
Yeah. Anyone here edit their login screen?
Yeah, I posted it in chat earlier.
I probably will at some point.
Let's see.
But not yet.
Is that actually yours?
Yes.
I like it.
Hold on, it's loading. Oh. Okay.
Oh my god, Peter Griffin is sans.
I just have it changed to default to the Prif one because I like it. I'm not creative. I'm not creative enough to get one that I think would look fine.
Not even gonna put Vikings as a background.
I mean, like my walls are completely covered in it. It's nice to have some.
Yeah, too much detailing.
Like think of it like an accent. In profession. So.
You don't want to just put on the molasses accent of artwork.
All right. Before we get to the agility thing, was there anything that you guys wanted to get to that we may have missed on Darkmire?
Randy.
I don't have anything. All right.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add either.
They buffed the mining like experience from the rune crafting thing. So they're like willing to do.
You know
Oh
how
yeah, like they're willing to do little tweaks and whatnot. So they're still balancing it. So I like how it looks thematically. The area looks really nice, but yeah, I mean they're still adjusting.
I think it was pretty token. I think it was maybe like 5K and they buffed it to 10K, maybe.
And I'm looking it up right now. It was like they got 4 EXP per node, and now they get 5.
Did I just hear an oof?
That was me coughing.
Oof.
Okay, it sounded like the Roblox oof.
I turn my face to the side to try to cough and clear my throat.
Okay.
What about
Mr.
you,
Ook?
Ook?
Nope.
Thanks. Okay. It's a little disappointing looking at, I think a couple people have tested the Firewatch thieving. It seems pretty bad. Even if you consider the buff, it's probably still quite bad. I've seen a lot of people killing the Fire Lords. That seems, or whichever one is which, you know what I'm talking about. The combat one, that seems pretty decent for Iron Man. The some alchables and whatnot. I don't know if people have actually been using the Blood Fury yet, but I don't know how good
I'd
it is.
imagine not, because I think that its
a little
uses are very minimal, and
Yeah, it seems a little underwhelming.
I
but-
don't see a scenario in which you would use that over, you know, like even like a glory.
Yeah. Oh, and what was the last thing? Oh yeah, the I'm a big fan of the Fashionscape, the clothing shop. That's good stuff.
Or all the changes that they made to the clothing shop.
Oh no! There is a clothing shop in there.
Oh,
It's got good stuff.
what are the what do they have for sale?
It's just the different like Firewatch outfits. I'll post. I'll find a picture of an outfit I threw together with it.
They sell stuff that previously couldn't be bought in store.
Yeah. It's like the noble outfits and such.
Noble.
Oh yeah, the Firewatch nobles. Hold
That,
on, let me just
I think I know what that looks like. Let me just
copy.
check. It's like black. Oh yeah. I've seen
Yeah, there's an outfit I threw together.
it. Okay. Good stuff. All right.
That's pretty good.
So
But yeah, that's it.
the new agility update that came out, players are now able to achieve about, over, around, conflicting reports, 95k agility XP per hour, which is more than 20k an hour over the previous best rates. In fact, this alone is a bigger buff to agility than the previous 7 years of updates to the skill combined.
Mhm.
What do you think about the content and the rates that players are currently able to achieve in this? Does it nerfing? What do you think would be the perfect balance for this? We've brought on the most experience that I know of at it. Take it away.
So, I think it's difficult.
Oh, I just disconnected. Hold on. What a struggle.
How the Pathfinder
All right,
works.
sorry.
and you need to be able to make, like,
I disconnected for a second there. Can you just restart your answer?
yeah.
I somehow
So I
didn't
said I think
disconnect
it's
on
really
anything else.
difficult to balance XP rates here because it's the skilling method that is the most intensive compared to any other skilling method, pretty much, or I guess mechanically intensive, in that you need to know pretty much exactly how the Pathfinder works, and you need to be able to make quick decisions and basically just play really, really well in order to get high rates, like 95k plus per hour. So if they do try to balance the content around 95k per hour, I think that's going to end up nerfing it like a lot for most people to the point where it'd be pretty much tied with rooftops. So people would just do rooftops for marks and things. But I really do like the update because I think it's pretty decent for there to be something that you get rewarded for being good at.
How many hours of it have you done? And how long did it take for you to get to the point where you were able to start getting like around 95K an hour?
For me, it would probably take not quite as long as most people because I already had quite a bit of experience, like messing around with line of sight and the Pathfinder and things. So I already had some prerequisite knowledge for it. I only did it for about a week, and I didn't do too much of it. Like I wasn't doing like 15-hour days or anything. I only did a couple hours per day. I think I have like 40 up in a week from doing it. I got around like 3 mil XP or something. And the highest XP rate that I was able to get, I only tried to get like a really good hour about twice. I got 96.4K, I think. And then I tested it for about, I think a total of like 8 hours, just doing it like kind of chill. And I averaged 91K getting that. But in order to learn how to do it really well, it would probably take the average person quite a while because it is like very involved compared to a lot of other things.
Plus, I saw on Twitter, I didn't check on actual RuneLight, that there's apparently a plugin for this now too. You know, apparently it's in the plugin hub. Let me actually check.
The plugin hub on, well, quote unquote vanilla RuneLight, but the one that you can get on the RuneLight client highlights the arrows for you. And that was something that I think on release was really useful because on release the arrows were like practically invisible. So it was pretty impossible to see them. But after the update, they're pretty easy to see now, so I don't think it's that beneficial.
What do you think though about like the true position marker?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to when I said you have to be like really mechanically knowledgeable about the game for it to be good to do. Is that like movement in this game is pretty scuffed. Like there's no real other way to say it.
Yeah.
Like you lag very far behind your actual true location. Like true tile definitely helps a ton. If you like want to do this course to try to get the best XP possible, you're going to want to use it. And like that's kind of unfortunate. It feels like the rates are balanced around plugins in a way, but that's just kind of where the game is at now, I guess.
So, with all the experience that you have at that course, what do you think a fair? Do you think that the XP rates are fine as they are, or do you think they should be adjusted higher, lower? How do you think the rates are for top end players?
I mean, if I got 200 mil at Artie, I don't think I would like the rates. But me personally, I really do like the rates because I like the concept of rewarding people for being good at the game instead of just a time investment.
Good stuff.
Problem with like rewarding good players in like this specific scenario is that there's not too much that is extremely like click or like physically intensive with it. It's a huge knowledge gap throughout the entire
Right.
course.
It's
And
more
the
like
problem with that is
timing.
these things get solved and then plugins come out and then all of a sudden it's basically already for a bunch more XP. And that's what I'm worried about happening with this course, is that it's just going to get
wouldn't go
solved.
that far at all.
Well, yeah,
Because
obviously that's obviously hyperbole, but still, it's gonna get
yeah,
solved, and it's gonna be much easier in a month from now, and that's why I
the
think it's
way it
really stupid
works,
that they buffed it.
the way it works with the arrows is like the arrows flying at you is like basically solved, but it's very difficult to path around them. Like even if you know exactly what to do, like even I'm not able to do it perfectly most of the time. Like I still end up losing a lot of ticks pathing around things because even if you know what to do, like it's very difficult.
Like taking the wide path around instead of the diagonals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like if the arrows are around like 4 or 5 tiles away from you, if you don't path perfectly horizontally, then you'll get hit. So like what I mean by that is if you move like one, or if you move 2 tiles east or west, like perpendicular to them, and 1 tile north or south, you get hit, which doesn't make sense because like you're moving away from the arrows, but you still get hit. But if you move perfectly diagonally, you don't get hit. And it's just like there are a lot of little things like that where if you misclick by like 10 pixels, you just end up getting sent back to the start.
Well, to start with that obstacle.
Yeah. But like that'll add up a lot over the course of an hour because there are a lot of obstacles like that.
Yeah.
How much is the XP rate going to go up just from people and plugins getting better? Because you can look at swimming, which is a similar thing, is a lot about pathing. And originally it was 210 tiers, then 215, then 225, then 230, not from updates, but just from everyone's knowledge of swimming going up by more people doing it.
How are
And
the
you
swimming
see that happen. What?
How are the swimming plugins? Are there any? I haven't paid
I
attention to that.
think what I've seen people do is just mark tiles basically, but I guess that's also knowledge. I guess so. Less
Fair enough.
plugins, more increase the swimming rate a ton just over time. Can you see that happening with the new course, or is it kind of set at the current times?
I think if they were to add plugins that were like really involved that showed you exactly where to click, the plugin would be updating like every tick. So you would have like a different tile you're supposed to click on every tick, and it would be like messy and hard to follow.
Based on precedent, I don't think that type of plugin would be allowed.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, it wouldn't be allowed for sure, but I don't
Yeah,
even think it
can't
would be
really have-
viable.
You can't really have dynamic tile plugins. That doesn't fly. Like
Yeah.
they removed that from like the Zolar plugin and stuff.
they also, I saw people doing that for the Inferno, and like I'd be surprised, and
What,
I
dynamic?
yeah yeah with the
Yeah,
Inferno
those
plugin there,
exist for Inferno.
I
I
would
am-
be shocked if anyone that used those plugins to get the Inferno cape ever got banned for using that.
Like the thing is, like, you have to balance around people cheating. Like, you can't just balance something one way and then like say, okay, this thing is against the rules, and just like never look at it again, because that just assumes no one will ever break the rules.
That's such a weird concept, but you're kind of right.
Yeah. So I think that I have not done it. I'm done with agility, but I've watched a lot of videos of people doing it, and I do understand it is a lot more click intensive than like arty roofs, for example. But the top end agility rates that you can get right now are a little bit over 70k an hour doing like Brim or the werewolf course, and those are much more click intensive than roofs. So when people talk about like trying to balance the content compared to roofs, I don't think that that's a fair argument, because we're comparing the top end XP prior to this release and the top end XP now post release. Yeah, one's more like the Brim and Werewolf aren't AFK or non-click intensive, where people would perhaps call rooftops that. I think that the XP per hour is far too high. Again, like like in the tweets that I've been putting out, like I think that it's far. So like part of my issues is it was initially advertised, so like they spoke about it on the release of, like, when they announced it at RuneFest. And when they announced that, Sween said it should be more fun and rewarding. I would certainly say the method itself is more fun than rooftops or Prif. And it's certainly more rewarding because you can get, if this is the only thing that you're doing, you could get like over a mil GP an hour doing it. You said
Has
that
anyone? Yeah, I was gonna say, has anyone like done this for GP yet? Because I've seen people get 70k experience per hour and still getting like 1.2 mil an hour.
yeah,
If you were getting that XP rate, you'd be looting chests on not just the final floor. So like when I was getting good rates, I would only loot the last chest.
how much
But even
GP an
from
hour
that,
were you
that's
getting?
can be. So it's kind of hard to gauge because a lot of the GP comes from the ring, which is supposedly 1 in 100. But I have
How much is the ring worth right now?
Probably around 50 mil. When I got mine, they were 51 and 54.
Okay.
It's a little surprising they're that much.
Yeah,
I highly doubt.
Overvalued.
Yeah, I highly doubt, like, with how much that ring is going to depreciate over time, that the amount of money you save will be worth it. Like, you could say, like, the actual experience of using it, it's like, that's, like, marginally, like, kind of good, but, well, they're going to lose money on that.
Yeah.
Again, like, kind of going
I
back.
think one thing that's worth noting about the new course is that like with Arty or like with rooftops, it's a static thing every time. With this course, you always have to be like basically actively paying attention and solving things, which means you're not going to be able to play mini alts.
No.
Like my understanding was that when people did Arty, they would play like 4 or 5 ring dragon
Oh,
alts
yeah.
and just do Arty.
Yeah.
Like there's absolutely no way you could play more than like one alt doing support. I mean, I'm sure you could, but like it wouldn't be ideal by any means. You couldn't play as many as you did at Arty. So that could maybe complicate things if you wanted a lot of money for like say rune crafting or something.
Would there be a way, because you're getting like 95k experience an hour just by like speed running it, getting to the end as fast as possible, avoiding looting, and you're not making like any GP an hour? Would it be possible, to like force people to loot the chests before continuing on to the next floor, therefore reducing experience an hour and like forcing people to make the GP?
I don't think in the
I mean,
way
I'm sure they could find a way to make it possible, or
not in
like
the way you're
to
thinking,
force
but
people to do.
I'll touch
Like,
on that.
could that be a way to possibly balance it moving forward so people wouldn't be
Potentially,
getting
yeah.
I'll get
like yeah
But the thing with that is like, let's say someone's not fast enough to loot floors 3, 4, and 5, and you start requiring them to loot floors 3 and 4 in order to get to floor 5, and then all of a sudden they're not able to complete floor 5. I mean, they'll have to practice and get better, but it just kind of sucks for them.
because I'm reading here, well, because we got a tweet from Mod Ash. He says, like, I see the devs who made it have some more changes to its rate due in the next update, but he doesn't know like the target values that'll be changed. Maybe we don't need to change the value.
Was that since Thursday?
Yes.
That
yes,
was
it's
a day
next,
ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
next
okay.
next update they're going to be changing it. Don't know what that means, but
Yeah, like we don't need the values adjusted. Maybe if they like don't allow people to speed run straight through it and get 95k an hour.
we'll say
believe
this
I
particular
remember-
course is the least transparent Jagex has ever been about something before, and
Yeah,
I really don't like it.
yeah, absolutely. So kind of like point of what I was trying to get at before is that, like it was initially advertised as not being better than Prif. Then in the whole dev blog that they came and released for it, it stated in the dev blog that agility XP gained for each floor is estimated to be slightly higher than the XP gained on rooftop courses. It's like it's
Yeah,
almost like
that's bullshit.
it's almost like a 40% buff. This was the slowest skill in the game, getting a 40% buff to it. No rates were ever revealed in any polls or blogs, and I like, that's really one of the big things. Like, it's really unacceptable for there to
I
be.
don't think they were expecting people to be able to complete the course as quickly as they.
They're a little bit bad with playtesting to balance.
Yeah. I don't think they have people at the office that can complete the course as optimally as players can. Like
That's why you don't balance it around internal playtesting.
Yeah,
You balance it
yeah.
around theoretical maxes, which is what they should have been doing the entire time with testing.
Which would basically be seeing how cycles line up and what if theoretically you could literally run from start to finish.
Yeah,
I believe Husky said he didn't want the rates to be over 90k after the previous nerf, but that's obviously not.
Yeah, like a max
So
of
they might be aiming for that with the next.
a max of like 85k ish, maybe 80 would be more appropriate for like perfect.
I think 80 is like a little. I think 85. So for example, he was talking about like he did like 96k while he was trying. I think if that was, instead 85k, then that'd be fine. Like I'm not against the course getting updates. I'm not against having a new best agility method. I'm just against, like agility, like the agility skill increased like XP per hour by like somewhere around like 12 to 15k XP per hour over 7 years. This is more than a 20k increase, and this is on one day. So it's just the growth rate for the XP per hour for this is unbelievably fast, and it, especially since they didn't even talk about any of the rates before release. 85K would be fine from what I have watched people do the content with. I think 85K is fine because like if it's at 85K, that's still just as big of an update in terms of XP per hour to the skill than the previous 7 years combined. So I think it would be fine at 85K.
Yeah, 85 would still be a very good rate to get.
Okay, so my inputs. First of all, I just think it's funny that the update from last week was titled Darkmire Improvements, which technically saw a slight nerf to Sepulchre, so I found that funny. But basically, what they tried to do there is my remedy for the current situation, how you improve bouncing, but you got to take it a lot further than they did. So pretty much what you'll want to do is, so they added like token XP for some of the like obstacles within it. They reduced the floor XP and gave token XP from looting. So pretty much what I would say is keep the like obstacle XP, maybe increase it a little. I don't know. For I don't remember exactly what those are for. I think those are for going to looting. Maybe that is. But anyways, decrease the standard XP and increase the XP that you get from looting. So the difference between looting and not looting is much smaller, and the overall max XP is also lower. So like if you could get a looting like 70k and non-looting 85k or whatever, something, I don't know, but you get my point. I think that would be how you would go about doing that.
I think that like the actual, course itself is pretty good. I just, like it's not poorly designed in any way. It's just
No, the course is good.
the XP is
Yeah,
too much.
they just need to tweak it a little
Yeah.
bit.
I think that it's
But really,
Even if the XP is lower, I would still really like it. Like I wasn't even wanting to do the course for XP. I was just having fun.
yeah.
I think it's a great course.
But really, it is a lot right now, so it can seem a little jarring. Although other things have been better, where they release them and they're like a little 2 week, and they later buff it up. So it might seem a little odd like that, but really, it's only been out like a little over 2 weeks. We can be a little bit patient with them getting it right.
I think 2 weeks is quite a bit of time to change the coding of some numbers for XP drops.
Well, yes. I mean, it's just a lot of data because you can't go up like one person that does the perfect and stuff.
Like we've given them a lot of praise in the past for buffing content post-release to get it to be balanced.
Yeah.
And it appears that they went in the complete opposite direction for this one. It's always problematic when they release something that's way too damaging, way too overpowered, and is that what then makes it harder to balance?
It is very substantial, but I don't think it's in the realm of a way too. It's like
it is the largest single.
Oh yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, like, it theoretically, for something to be like super damaging, like long term, you would need it to be like way higher, such that when it is nerfed, like the amount of extra XP people got compared to what it ends up on, I don't think it's that large to be like super damaging. Like, yeah, it needs to come down, but it's not so high that it's like super bad, like long term, for it to be happening for like a couple weeks. That's what I'm saying.
I disagree. I don't think that there's a single update that they have come out with that one update alone.
I know. I'm just
devalued 200 mil all.
Yeah.
More so than this.
Right now, I'm just saying in terms of like
Catacombs release.
I'm just saying in terms of like a couple of mil XP difference in a couple weeks or whatever, depending how much people play.
Even if they balance it down though, like that's still such a substantial increase, like 15k EHP difference.
It is, but I think like
it's more
like
appropriate.
85k for top end. There would be okay.
Yeah, top end high. Yeah.
And this method is going to be solved. Like, there's already YouTube videos of like where to put your tile markers, and like this obviously just came out, but like this is not a good sign for future skilling methods that they release if they're just gonna haphazardly release stuff like this.
85k as a top end rate is also better because the long term rate would be much lower than it would be for another skill. Because when you mess up somewhere else, you lose 1 or 2 ticks, but it's more punishing in the sub.
Oh yeah.
So the long term rate would probably like be under 80 if the max rate was 85.
Imagine doing a day record and trying to maintain.
Yeah, like imagine sleep depriving and doing the course. You wouldn't.
Oops, misclicked. Restart the obstacle. Oops, ran out of time.
Volcanic mine is also very damaging if you do your run wrong. Just want to note.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anyone have any more they wanted to talk about on this one? We've been at it like almost over 20 minutes.
Oh wow. Nah.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Husky needs to stop taking criticism of his content as a personal insult.
Please.
Was he saying that it was, or what?
No, he's just like a diva about everything.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's really, really bad at handling constructive criticism.
And that's constructive criticism, not ad hominem or whatever.
Who would do such a thing?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think like like me saying this is way too high based on this, and this reason.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
It may be annoying. I certainly don't think it's toxic or anything.
No, you're fine.
So I lost like over 30 followers from giving my opinion on the. Come on, guy. Like, I complain about the first bit of content that I'm on Twitter complaining about in nearly 2 years, and people, oh my god, you cry about everything. Wow, wow, wow. Like,
Toxic HLC crybabies.
yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, first thing I've complained about in quite a while.
It's like I don't even. It's like yeah, you're high up in EHP, but it's like the things that I can think of you in the more recent times. It's like Redwoods, Barb, and VM. So you're not the type of person that would fit.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Well, you say that, but Levine cries all day, but his entire account is dark crabs and Zaya rune crafting.
I don't even want
Moving on.
Levine's name doesn't even come out of anyone's mouth.
Levine's good. I like him. All right, so we'll move on to the mutated bloodvelds. So it's a new spot for Slayer. Let me find the video here and link it. So I'll put it in the chat here. So Slayer's able to get 85k an hour with a scythe and 75k an hour with a rapier. Previously you could get like 40k an hour or something at like 50k an hour at bloodvelds before. Like bloodvelds in a very, tracking the progress of XP rates for those things over time, very fun. Like back in like, before the Neve's Cave, they couldn't be cannoned. Then Neve's Cave came out, they could be cannoned and they were decent. Then they changed up Neve's Cave and then they became way crap. And then now here we are. There's a lot going on with bloodvelds in general. You got the catacomb stuff as well, but what do you think about the mutated bloodvelds in the dungeon here? We'll call it 85k an hour with a scythe.
Oh. Well, I can't believe this wasn't pulled. Because this is, like, I mean, not as crazy as the Agi course, but, like, honestly, for a lot of players will probably be a bigger difference because they won't do the new course. When I saw this update was in the game, I knew immediately it was going to be very broken. And it's actually, like, I was watching Blue Bonnet do it. He was getting, like, 93k Slayer an hour with the scythe over a whole task. And it's really high melees as well. I really can't believe this wasn't pulled.
Yeah, I'm also shocked that it wasn't, and not as so. Okay, to all my big fans on Twitter that say I only complain about skills that I've already got 200 mil in, I'm not complaining about this on Twitter, and this is a huge increase to bloodvelds, and this was where like at least I knew that the agility thing was coming out. I didn't know this was. So yeah, it's pretty reckless on the XP rates people are getting. Watching the video here, just camping in that one. Like this is like new and improved Cal fight task almost in terms of like just the XP you get, where you stand, and everything.
You could tell they didn't think about it. They just like put it there and be like, whatever. We'll put like a new way to do bloodvelds there without realizing that it's over EHP to do that task right now.
Yeah.
If you like count melee XP, if you factor that into your account.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't EHP like 85?
No, Slayer EHP is 100k.
Is it? Oh.
But it's a 0.33 melee ratio though. This is
Okay,
well over EHP when you take the melee XP.
If you're not considering phone zone.
And even if you don't care about melee XP, it's over 0.9 in AFK.
Yeah.
So it's a wild update.
It's definitely good for the average player.
This is good for
it's
any.
Good for the HLC too, if you care about melee.
This is good for every single player. But like, if this would have like, me, like we all have 200. We all have 200 mil Slayer here. Like, I don't know about you. I don't know about you boys, but I'd be having these on Slaughter and Extended, and I'd be just sitting there for, like, it'd be my favorite task because Cal fights were like my favorite task, and Cal fights were my favorite task, other than like well, I liked a lot of them, but like I really liked Cal fights, because they were very similar to Dags, but I didn't have to run around as much. This is better Cal fights, and it was unpulled.
I know this used to be like the best task to get pre-EOC, and this like is literally pretty much copy pasted from pre-EOC. Like this is where you used to do bloodvelds back.
Yeah, it's a direct copy.
Yeah.
And the scythe is better than anything that was in the game back then.
I know very little of how Slayer operates between 2007 and, I don't know, like 2015.
You'd put your cannon down and summon a Steel Titan, basically.
Yeah, sounds right.
Because people skip bloodvelds normally, didn't they? Like before this?
Sometimes.
Or they
depends
did like
on
the weird catacomb method.
Bloodvelds is a really dynamic task. If you were a tryhard, barraging bloodvelds is 110k Slayer an hour.
I've
but
tried
no one
that
wanted
before.
to do that because
it's so much effort. Yeah.
Yeah. The way I did bloodvelds, and some people are doing it now if they like melees, we're doing it with spec transfer alts or one alt in the catacombs. And I usually did it with one alt. But I would have loved to do this instead of that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good with just one spec transfer.
Yeah, it's like basically exactly 1-to-1 with one spec transfer in the catacombs. Cool. And it was well over that with 2 spec transfer alts. That was a lot.
Everyone loves Slayer. Like, you're always going to see Slayer updates into the game, like, constantly. I don't even know if this one was necessary, but yeah, you're going to see more Slayer updates than any other skill in the game.
Yeah, this was kind of just out of left field.
Yeah.
I didn't really expect it at all.
Who asked for this?
Right.
I really don't think they thought this would be a big deal. I
It's
thought
like,
they just it's there in RS3, we'll just put bloodvelds here
yeah,
too.
I mean, like,
they didn't think about it.
You could say thematically in terms of, like, RS3 had it, and also just, like, for the area and, like, the Slayer, whatever. Yeah, that makes sense, but they just added more.
A minute.
Like, with Song of the Elves in that dungeon, they just added more with Song of the Elves, so that's kind of fun there. But this one's, like, busted. So yeah, that's quite interesting.
For Abra238, do you guys regret doing Slayer when you did it?
Oh no, I like having top page. No, fuck it. They can buff the shit out of it, so as long as it's not like. Yeah, as soon as I finish a skill, I don't care what happens to it.
Do you expect it to get
yeah,
faster than like
continue.
overtime. Like, of course it will.
Continue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will not.
It's just
I will
like,
not be super surprised if you can like maintain like over 130k in a couple years.
130k.
Yeah, maintain
That,
though.
that almost happened with warding because they added corpse explosion as one of the wards, which was a wild idea.
Yeah,
To
that
like
was.
smoke 300k an hour and next to it.
Yeah. I was gonna say 150, but I'm gonna be a little bit conservative.
I mean, it's Slayer like pure XP wise. I think it's actually gone down when you in the last few because this isn't actually like a flat Slayer XP buff, and I think the last update to Slayer before that was Drakes and Worms.
Yeah, that brought it down.
Slayer actually has not been getting much faster lately. The only reason EHP has gone up is because people stopped being babies and started doing Abbey Demon. So update wise, I don't think it's been much faster.
Abbey Demons weren't fun before they added 35 new worlds.
Yeah, but then the player base, like the number went up with that. You just crash meleeers. Like I never like hopped for Abbey Demon worlds. You just crash somebody's melee. Could have done that before.
Did you ever have anyone while you were crashing that not hop?
Yes. Jukebox, a high-ranked Iron Man sat there, and we had a flame war for a while. Well, it was more one-sided. I was kind of just flaming, but
Toxic.
it's fine. I got him his most liked tweet. You're welcome.
Ooh.
I gotta look.
Yeah, he posted me flaming him.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone on Twitter talking about this, so I think that's surprising. I think that people were so much more caught up with the agility thing and with the partner Slayer. We'll talk about that next. So, I mean, people for the most part aren't complaining about this massive unpulled update. So, all right, the next one here we got partner Slayer was removed. So, it reminded me of a time like years ago before like partner Slayer came out. It's on one of the very old podcasts, couldn't tell you which one, but Trickle talked about how this inevitably would come and people would figure out how to get something stupid like this. So it says here that a specifically quested Slayer partner alt would give 11 tasks from Duradel. 3 of those could be blocked by the partner alt, and 6 of those could be blocked by the main. That would leave 2 tasks left over, which would be Smoke Devils and Kurosk. So players were, I don't know how much time it took to get an alt up to that. I don't know how many points they had to get or anything like really anything. But it got to a point where it could be so busted that like your only tasks would be Smoke Devils. In the patch note news, what they said is the Slayer partner system has been closed indefinitely following several incidents where the system's features were manipulated in ways that were unintended for its purpose. As of today's update, you will be unable to send Slayer invites to other players. Messaging on relevant Slayer items has been altered to reflect this change. So, what do you guys think about the whole situation?
I think it's sick that Skilling Clan drama got an update into the game. This was very nice. If anyone wasn't following on Twitter, there was just drama going on between 2 certain Skilling, and one clan has someone who was doing this method, and the other clan got one of their old players to tweet at JMods to get this removed. And it was a nice day on Twitter. And a win for the HLC, for those who say that crying to the JMods doesn't do anything.
I mean, seeing as how people share alts, especially with an account like this, I don't really think how long it takes to make the alt is too relevant if people are really caring about getting good rates and things. Like, it's obviously not good if you can only do Smoke Devils. That's pretty dumb. People were saying it was like a bug with Slayer partner, but I don't really think it's a bug, but it still shouldn't be a thing.
It's an exploit, not a bug.
Yeah, it's certainly an unintended feature that, good big brain move taking advantage of it. sitting down to figure out everything like that.
But one
It-
thing,
like,
like the thing with sharing alts
trickle
method isn't as
trickle
big of a deal.
prophesize this happening. Gotta give the king the respect he deserves.
No, you're saying about sharing alts because like you obviously one person or a group could make one, but like the way it works is you needed to get hundreds of thousands of Slayer points on the. So it's not like someone makes the alt and then them and all of their friends get to just do smoke doubles.
Oh, there's actually a slight bug with it where if you sent your main a Slayer partner request and then you got the task on the alt, if it wasn't a task that you wanted on the main, you just like clicked out of the interface and you didn't have to take the task, and then you could tutorial skip on the alt instead of getting, and you could just do other things on the main.
That was patched before this. No,
Oh, they patched that?
I believe that was previously patched.
Oh.
I'm
So I know I had a
pretty
friend
sure.
who was making an alt for that. He got it to like 95 or something, just like using a Sarah sword and shit.
Wasn't there
And,
some sort of thing that happened with the Inferno with this? That a request got sent through while someone was in the Inferno, and it kind of made them lose the run is up.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I killed him.
Yeah, so if you send someone a Slayer partner request previously, it would queue an interface for them, so the interface would pop and it would like block whatever they were doing for that time.
So how did people die doing the Inferno with that then?
Just do that to someone on Zook.
Does he fall behind his shield?
I think they need to have you added, or your public chat needs to be on, or something like that. But it could definitely happen.
So some good trolls probably had a whole lot of fun of that.
God, I
Yeah.
wish I knew about this. That would...
Do you know how funny that would have been? Like doing that to people like streaming, like, oh hey, Inferno attempt number 65, and just smack him with that invite and mess him up while he's
Oh.
streaming.
Thurko is on PB pace, you say? I'll change that. I wish I knew about that. I would have done something with that.
Yeah, I am surprised that like I didn't hear about that prior to you guys talking. So I think that this is for those that were able to take advantage of this, real good on them. One of the most like if I would have been I'd be taking off like a couple weeks off work, like put me on vacation for the next month, and I'd have just hammered this out if I would have been able to. Very great update, or I'm sorry, very great big brain move to take advantage of it. And I think that once the mods did become aware of it, good on them for changing an unintended feature. Obviously, they currently have no solution to it, stating it's been removed indefinitely. Great job for those that were able to take advantage of it, but good that it has been adjusted.
Ham-fisted solution to just remove it, though. But that's kind of how Jagex goes.
I mean, it worked with Bounty Hunter, right?
Yeah, that wasn't ham-fisted at all.
And they came back with even more ham.
Yeah, they came back and it was worse.
They came back with a feast, and we were just having a little brunch, and they came back with a whole feast.
Maybe they should just disable things, because they're not responsible enough to actually fix things. Well, maybe this was the right move.
And that's the thesis.
Facts.
All right. Blisterwood's trees XP rates were nerfed from 76 XP a log to 52. Something that was pretty interesting was that players were able to set their inventory up in a way where they could like foot pedal woodcutting and get like 80k XP an hour. Let me put the tweet in the Discord, or I'm sorry, in the Twitch chat here. Is an example of what some players were doing. So obviously the XP per hour has been nerfed significantly. What do you think about this pre and post nerf?
So wait, is that foot pedal clip, like, is he actually hitting his foot pedals that fast, or is that like a macro or something?
You hold it down.
Yeah, hold down your
Yeah, hold
escape
it
key.
down.
You're looking at a different thing. The only thing that's relevant in terms of clicking is the red, is the drop.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because holding it
Yeah,
down,
it's
it
just-
just keeps.
Yeah.
That's just how fast it normally flickers.
Depending on your in-game settings.
I mean, to me, that seems a little weird because, like, foot pedals does seem like at least some level of effort. And, like, if I don't want to put in effort, I would go to redwoods. But if I do, then I would do, like, 1.5 or 2 tick-teaks or something. It seems kind of like a weird thing to do, but I guess.
Like in that video, he's using dragon axe. Is that because he wants to, like, if one were to have used a crystal axe, would they have been able to get like 90k? Does anyone know?
I think it's only like a 5% increase.
Okay, so maybe like 85k.
And yeah, you would always just drop the one the first. He didn't need to have like a full inventory of logs, so you don't need the burning effects. Only if you actually need the FMXP.
Okay.
I'm not sure I understand the whole foot pedal thing because, like, you can't use your computer. Really.
Virtual machine.
I don't know. It depends.
You can either use another laptop or something, or just put the client in a virtual machine, and you can still use your computer. You would need a second keyboard.
Interesting. I'm not messing around with that.
Yeah, I've heard of people using like a second laptop and just setting up the foot pedal, but people are doing this with like knights and whatnot still. The nerf made sense. It just, like, this content wasn't even supposed to be woodcutting experience, like, forever. Like,
I
it's
remember
straight up
testing
not.
it during the quest, and I thought it was funny that it gave, like, that close to good.
Right. So yeah, the nerf makes sense, but like people are going to be using foot pedal anyway. Just funny that the rate was already pretty competitive.
Yeah, it makes sense, and I kind of foresaw it. Whatever grammar. I saw it coming like after that tweet came out, but it seems they're receptive towards possibly buffing it back up. I don't know to the same point, but it's just it wasn't intended on being semi-viable at all. And this is actually a situation where, like, I kind of agree with most of the people that are complaining. Like, you even have Reddit complaining, like the casual people, because basically it was a non-competitive, decent XP thing. So that's why it was so appealing. You could just have a ton of people there. Don't put too much effort in. Just click back every once in a while when you stop cutting, and you can talk to people. And yeah, it's not even better than any other methods, like even AFK or whatever. It's like AFK teaks are like 100k.
Sorry, go ahead.
What's funny?
Nothing. Some volcanic mine stuff.
All right, but yeah. So I mean, it doesn't really matter a ton in terms of like if I actually end up using it, because that just like would theoretically just stretch out my multi-game AFK whatever time. It doesn't matter that much, but yeah, it's a little unfortunate that it was nerfed, but yeah, they might buff it back up a little bit.
I don't understand it being nerfed because the foot pedal is you can literally just do this with teak trees. You can set it up so it can click 2 trees, and where you'd be clicking if there was no trees would just not move you.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
afterwards.
it's like the same XP rate.
Isn't actually? I think it's actually better.
Maybe.
I think it was like better than the original pre-nerf.
But anyways, you're telling me they nerfed the 80k an hour woodcutting method for being AFK, but not the 100k an hour mining method for being AFK? Come on, man.
And also the
priority.
And the Sepulcher also has been slower to be nerfed. It's gotten nerfed a tiny bit, but they just immediately smack down the not even that good Blisterwoods. It don't make sense. Make it make sense.
I think with Sepulcher they were really concerned with fixing the flames because they were buggy for like.
Sorry, you cut out.
Oh, I cut out?
Yeah.
I said with Sepulcher, I think they were concerned with fixing the flames because they were buggy for
like a full week, right?
They fixed it once, but didn't really fix it, and then they fixed it again after that, I think. But they were like, yeah, they were inconsistent. Like sometimes they would just last an extra tick. or they'd be out of sync. Like half the statues would be on one tick, and the other half would be on another.
Are you
Good. I
serious?
thought the point of the course was this wasn't supposed to be the same every time.
Yeah,
Put that
but like
back in.
not like that though. It
Oh,
would like
not when it's
it would
hard.
like completely desync the obstacles though. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
adapt, overcome.
Yeah,
You need,
conquer.
you need to make it into a boy band. It needs to be in sync.
Very good.
Ooh.
Give me some head pats and scritches.
Yuck.
Next question.
That was one of the worst puns in the history of this. All right.
Maybe spit out wine. Jeez.
So the bounty hunter emblem upgrades now capped at 10 per day to limit farming. I don't believe any of us are PvPers, but what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's something. It does kind of get the desired effects, but it's kind of hard to balance between just boosters, gold farming, and like people actually doing PvP. Because I imagine this would be quite annoying for people who are actually trying to legitimately use the content. Because it's like, what do they just keep count of how many emblem upgrades they got, and after they get their 10th emblem upgrade, do they just be like, fuck it, I'm done PvPing for the day, I guess? Is that what happens? I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like a daily almost.
Yeah, that's
Quite a few people who do BH have multiple account builds, so they might just change between them.
I guess maybe, but I don't know. This obviously isn't optimal. The optimal thing would be that they actually enforce their own rules, but
Yeah.
hey,
Like I actually PvP
expect too
quite a
much,
bit, but I don't know. I don't think bounty hunter is a good avenue for fixing.
What is this?
First of all, I can't believe you would discount my sick LMS win rate by saying no one here's a PvPer.
I used to only PK. What is this?
That's getting a fat retweet.
That was what I had initially squealed about 5 minutes ago.
That's good.
God. We do a bit of trolling.
Surely he didn't fall for that, man.
I understood that reference. It's called trolling. Because of trolling.
Oh my god.
Anyways, this new update's really ham-fisted to cap it at 10. Fine. When I was getting mad that you're saying I'm not a PvPer because of my LMS win rate. And yeah, it's just like really ham-fisted. Can't think of a solution, just fucking toss in something stupid like just ruin it for everyone.
Yeah, I don't see how this fixes anything. Like I almost see it as a daily now, and I like the idea of bounty hunters having different PvP accounts, to, like different builds and getting different upgrades. But yeah, I don't see how this fixes anything.
Yeah, I mean it seems like it might be like a band-aid attempt on whatever the issue is, but I don't know. It doesn't really seem like it's very. I haven't seen any PvPers talk about their displeasure with this, so I don't know if it's something not relevant or kind of what the whole thing is, but doesn't seem like it's.
I think it could actually be an okay fix, maybe. A lot of people who emblem boost have a ton of accounts, so I don't know how much it will actually slow them down by. And for lower level BH builds, I kind of see that as like glorified emblem boosting anyways, so oh well. But like if you're a higher level account or a main, like getting 10 kills actually takes quite a bit of time as opposed to boosting. You can get it like very, very quickly. So I think it might actually fix some things. Like I'm not going to complain about it because I don't really do like baby pure things.
I have a question though. Why is it still that PvPers are the only community that require extra incentive to do what they were doing before? Like,
Because
why?
like the way PvP works is it's a negative sum game.
I
But
mean,
for
'cause, like,
PVM, it's like a positive sum game because things are always being brought
right?
into
No,
the
I mean,
game.
so like,
But
with PvP,
PvP, people lose supplies, their gold
yeah,
sink.
okay, mayhaps a little bit, but like theoretically. So I know it can be a little bit skewed with pures, but theoretically, the incentive to kill someone is you get their loot, right?
Yeah.
But like, instead of like having things upgrade, like I think it always upgraded. It's just the system has never been good. But like, if you just had it so that you were required to have an emblem to get a target and it didn't upgrade, and you could have any tier emblem, so people could match up their emblems like, hey, I want to fight you, but I'll only fight you if you're risking an emblem worth 200k, right? Okay, sounds good. Like, I think that would be fine if you just were required to use at least a lowest like tier, like 50k GP, whatever emblem,
I would like that a lot as well.
in order to get a target. If you want to do rogue kills, whatever, but to get a target, if you're required to have a 50k emblem, I think that's a fine system, even if it doesn't upgrade.
I would like some level of mandatory risk for PvP because I think that is one issue with it.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
people just
yeah, because accounting for peers, yeah, I think that's fine to require minimum risk, but the fact that people are complaining that they're not, or whatever, like kind of basically requiring or wanting to keep alive this system that necessitates that it's get extra GP for doing the same thing you're already doing.
I mean, I like PvP a lot, but I don't really like Bounty Hunter, just to be honest. I think it's a weird system.
I mean, the system itself is fine. The targeting system, that's the good thing.
As a
Remove protect
non
item from the game.
Huh?
Remove protect item from the game.
Or make everyone skull when they're in the wild. Both of those
Yeah,
would
no, I
be
mean, they already did that, and I think they did something else to it. But
they
yeah,
have
did
a
that
they
in
have a
Bounty
world
Hunter.
that they're trying to come
Yeah,
out with.
yeah, in
like very
BH
high
world.
risk world.
Oh yeah, that's a separate thing. Yeah, so, oh yeah, no, that's so that you can't use, so you're perms gold and can't use protect item. I think that's what that is.
Yeah, the very high risk world.
Yeah, but just no one goes to that world because people want to AGS spec but not lose anything.
Yeah.
So I think they should just perm remove protect item from the game. It's a dumb spell.
Fair. I don't know, like as someone who does not do PvP, I like the idea of bounty hunter, and like again, like if I were to do bounty hunter, I'm sorry, if I were to do PvP, I think bounty hunter would be what it would be that I would do PvP wise. So I mean, if they can just continue making upgrades to it, that's fine.
I think the idea of like progressing up the emblem tier, like that seems like a lot of fun, but I don't see a feasible way to implement that such that it isn't boosted.
Yeah, so you can't abuse it.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a couple ideas for like PvP, like mini games, like Soul Wars could come to the game, or we could have like we'd have like a ranked 1v1 system, like a leaderboard for PvP.
Yes,
People love
yeah.
that stuff. Like
I
you
was-
wouldn't have to
I
go
would
for
play
loot
that so
anymore.
much.
Yeah, I was just about to say that they should take the like LMS's idea one step further and give like set brackets like pure or whatever, and like your stats and gear would morph to these like brackets, and it would be an elo system like other ranked games.
Literally, yeah, exact same thought. Like bringing an elo system to PvP, like that's what people want to. Like obviously you're fighting for loot and whatnot, but if you're actually climbing a ladder, like people would love it.
The only
I was kind of upset
I-
when LMS was released
the only
because I thought that's what it was going to be originally, but you can never lose rate.
yeah.
I had very high hopes for LMS. Like prior to release, I was, like a very very loud supporter of it. I thought that it was going to be very good, very successful, but obviously not. Although I am seeing that like people are able to like get LMS games now where they weren't able to before.
Oh, it's fast now. LMS is going through a revival right now because
What
they
did they make any changes to it to where that? I mean, I know
Yeah,
that they
okay,
like I know that
so-
like they give you better like starting out gear, and like when you kill someone, like you are able to like replenish your food and then like get an upgrade. Right?
Well, yeah, and what they did very recently was it's either a week or 2 weeks it changes between an NA and an EU. So like it just made the player accounts go up, because when it's like the spotlight or whatever for your region, people go and play it. They don't get burnt out on it because they'll switch back to the other server, and then they obviously don't want to play on high ping. I think that is just like every time I've gone in the past month or so, I've instantly gotten in games when I've went into.
Yeah, it's very fast now. The only complaints I currently have with it is people don't play like the high stakes mode where you actually like win something, or like you win GP if you win the game. And I think it would be nice if they had like a dedicated server for it, because currently the world for it has like 1.1k pop on average or something, so it's very difficult to play.
I think if they removed everything to do with high stakes, it would be fine if they made you lose rating when you lost, and like make it an actual ladder people can climb, or just release a 1v1 game mode with that concept, because people will play that all day. That's like most popular games in the world right now are ranked ladder based games.
Yeah.
People would love that. They would eat it up.
Right. Yeah. What I was trying to say was, to my recollection, the only like proper elo system that we have in this game is fucking Rune Link.
Yeah, the games room.
God
I mean, if you're
damn.
trying to get the hands on Rune Link anytime you want,
It's a solved game.
it's a solved game. We're not computers, man.
Runeversity is unsolved. It's the perfect.
I don't know, man. It's been nice. It was fun watching tournaments held there. That was fun.
Yeah. Let's give a good shout out to 2000 Scape Reddit, RuneLink champion, Trance Music.
Oh, Haley.
Big.
He had that.
Can we get chess in the games room though? Please.
That would be fun.
Those games. How long does a chess game take compared to checkers? Are they comparable in time or no?
It depends on the time restraints. Like you can have like 3 time, or like each person gets 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
Depends like how long you have for a global time for how long a game can be, or how long each move is.
Also, another thing is, in checkers, there's kind of a set amount of moves that have to happen for someone to win, but chess can literally be from 4 to however many.
Yeah.
So the game times vary like wildly in chess.
I've seen someone
like
lose
Monopoly.
We need Monopoly in the games room too.
Yeah, but it wouldn't even be that hard to implement the logic. But I think what they've said is they could add more things, but they, for whatever reason, like actually putting in the logic is, I don't know if they would do. So they would maybe have to just rely on people knowing the rules and just playing fairly. So I don't know if they can actually promise that.
Well, that's the thing. Like, chess has a cheating problem online. That's like, I guess, kind of dying down because the AI to detect it is getting very good. But I mean, that exists for like all the games in there. You can. Also, we need Void Knight Conquest back. Does anyone remember that?
Nope.
I love Conquest, dude.
Wasn't Conquest really just the mobilizing armies upgrade?
No.
Oh no, it wasn't the same game, but it gave the same like ring and view or something.
I don't know. I didn't do it for the rewards. I'm a nerd.
Yeah,
it was an add-on to pest control that was like, it wasn't chess, but it was or even like a chess-like game. I guess it was just a strategy game that like kind of resembled chess. It was like a checkered board.
Okay.
And it was sick.
Okay.
And we need it.
Moving on.
All right. So one more so just for Mort Myre. They talk about the rebalancing, and there's a lot that they make in this news post here down towards the bottom. Based on your extensive experience there, what do you think about their messages that they post in here on future rebalancing, and I guess in addition to what Ash would have said like a day ago?
So I'm only just now skimming over the blog because I didn't see this previously, but it looks like most of the changes are just adding like 100% success rate to the obstacles. If I'm not mistaken. That wouldn't affect rates too much. It would just affect the rate at which you get the marks or whatever for like the graceful recolors, and because if you just want rates, like you would just skip to the end anyways.
Okay. How long does it take to get the?
Oh, you can't do fire running in there anymore, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
They actually patched that globally instead of just in Sepulchre.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
do you
you
mean?
can't do barbarian fire making like on rooftops or anywhere anymore. Because you
I
used to
mean,
have to do it with a bow in Sepulchre because they tried to block it with a tinderbox, but they used different.
right. I mean, you can still just use a tinderbox on rooftops, can you?
I know you can't at Priv.
Wait, wasn't
And
that
the Priv record, yeah, the Priv record is required to do fire running, so it's now unbeatable unless they.
Well,
I mean, I don't really think it's beatable without bug abuse right now, anyways. But
well,
Okay. All right. I was just curious because there was quite a bit of paragraphs that they had on here, so I wasn't positive on what the real takeaway from it was. All right, so they had a national video game survey for whatever reason was put on here, and did you guys fill it out? If so, what'd you think? Would you like to see them do stuff like this more often in the future? So I did this, and it was very kind of odd how they had it set up. Like it was kind of asked. So the questions that they asked, and here, let me put it here in the Twitch chat, is like they were asking like, what of these games, what one is your favorite graphics? Who's your favorite character? What kind of games have the best humor? I don't play games for humor. I don't know about you guys. What's your favorite type of villain to fight against when you're playing a game? Pick zombies for that one. I don't know. There was just a handful of things on here. What do you think about it? I thought it was good, and I'm happy to fill out more because I mean, it at least made me think about like all the games that I've neglected over the last 7 years.
Yeah, I filled it out. It was fine. I wouldn't mind filling out more of these surveys. They're always fun when Jagex comes out with these, but felt pretty limited. There weren't any like card games, other mobile games, no Call of Duty Mobile, no other, because some of the other ones.
Hey, you play Call of Duty Mobile?
Oh no, I used to. Influenced by you for sure. Yeah.
Hey, you gotta get back into it. They made a lot of improvements, and they have like this world tournament stuff going on right now. You get like on the weekends you get to qualify. You have to win like 8 out of 10 ranked games, and then you get to move on.
Oh, very nice.
It's a lot of good fun. Definitely take another look. I started playing the Battle Royale on it, which I never thought I would have ever enjoyed, but I play with this one guy that I know. He's pretty good, and we actually have like a 75% win rate. So that's pretty fun.
That's crazy. I'm just looking forward to like a RuneScape card game redo, because I know they did Chronicle at one point, or like Jagex could make. I know that Jagex kind of tanked on all their games they've made so far, other than RuneScape, but you could make like a RuneScape MOBA, like a League of Legends game or something. Kind of venture into that realm.
I don't know if that would really be successful, because I feel like whatever game it is that they do come out with, their main target is people that already play RuneScape. That's why I feel like, like RuneScape Chronicle and then like RuneScape Idle Adventures, like kind of keeping the key wording in the title to try to draw players from RuneScape onto there. And those games are very like a League of Legends is very different from RuneScape, where as like Idle Adventures and Chronicle were at least something you could play on the side while you're playing RuneScape. So I don't think that would.
Oh, for sure.
I fucked with Idle Adventure.
What was that?
Oh, I've never heard of that. Yeah, never heard of that.
I said I fucked with Idle Adventure.
Idle Adventure, like I was disappointed they got rid of it. It was a good game. Good game, like just as dumb and meaningless as any other like cookie clicker, but I liked it. It ate up a whole lot of like computer memory though.
But yeah, I mean, Jagex or RuneScape in general has so many iconic characters. Like you could make a MOBA or something similar.
I never actually read the survey. Was it just basically them asking questions like, what would you like to see in a different game if we create a different
It was more so like, what do you think about other games that are currently out there? So like they ask about like graphics of other games, characters in other games, humor in other games, villains to fight against, preferred platforms,
Do you think they're
gameplay.
asking this to get information about what sorts of things to add to RS, or to get
Oh.
information about what sorts of other games they could be creating?
I imagine
game.
they would be
Yeah, like a new game.
I
Maybe
think that's pretty cool then, because
Yeah.
like if Jagex becomes more successful as a company, they're gonna have more money to invest into RS, which is gonna be a good.
But,
Oh, I mean,
but
they
if they
aren't.
really want to make a big game, they're gonna have to hire some devs that don't make minimum wage. So they're gonna have to start paying people more if they really want to branch into other genres.
You're not wrong.
How much money did they lose on that Transformers game? Was it like 200 mil or something? You remember what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know exact numbers, but yeah.
I know what game you're
Let's
talking about,
see.
but I
Transformers Universe.
yeah.
Sweet, I found it like the wiki of it. Let's see.
Oh no.
The game. So all right. Posting it right here. So oh, I forgot that we had split off the trio. I'm sorry, team. So Transformers Universe, a multiplayer online battle arena MOBA.
Oh, was that interesting?
And so with that, so it went
Never left beta.
yeah, it was in beta March of 2014 and shut down January 2015.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean I never thought that game had a chance of being successful, but I'd have been curious to see where it would have went.
Fuck it, bring back Fun Orb.
Whoa, big agree.
I don't know if it
Way
was
big agree.
this survey or another one, but they had a question of, do you think Jagex could produce the next big game? And the survey was like a week after Valorant came out. So I like the idea of Jagex all sitting around looking at the Valorant launch and thinking, oh, we could do
That.
because they really can. I voted no to that question, and they should just focus on RuneScape.
Yeah, I think that they should just put all effort into RuneScape only, or if they just started branching out. Like, I would love to see them, put some more time and effort into Idle Adventures and Chronicle. Idle Adventures was not like gameplay wise good. I liked it though, but from what I saw, Chronicle was actually good.
That was decent.
It just didn't make money, and I feel like even if they were to just break even on some like kind of like expanding out the type of stuff that they have, like what if someone like actually doesn't play RuneScape but then they start playing Chronicle and then that makes them like go into then RuneScape. I don't know, like I would like to see more other RuneScape themed things from them.
What's the business model like for Chronicle? Because I imagine they could like have in cosmetics, like instead of your card looking like this, they'd have a different outfit for the person that comes up or whatever.
Yeah, it was close to that. I played Chronicle for the first 2 seasons. Yeah, it was cool. You would the card system could have been a little more microtransaction-y. Like I wouldn't have minded throwing them a little bit more money, and like cosmetics too. I like that.
Yeah, like I actually watched people play it a bit. It was pretty okay.
Yeah, I'm really into like the card games and strategy games. So even if they made like a different, I don't know, like a tactics style roleplay game or something, like, and then the microtransactions would just be skins or unlocking characters or something like that, like nothing game.
Yeah, but as is, I don't think they can really afford to put a ton of resources towards making another game in terms of like their obligations to shareholders and whatnot. Like they would have to really get a lot more players in or jack up membership prices again, probably in order to justify that. In order to hire more people.
I remember people saying that like they increased the price of membership because of Transformers failing, so they had to like increase membership by like $2 or $3 a month.
I don't know if that was exactly why, but that certainly makes sense. Block and load. I don't even remember seeing that. I know it was a thing, but I never saw it.
Going great, but all right. Let's move on to the Gillinor Gazette, and in here they talked very briefly about the progress of future clan updates. This is the most information we've ever received in regards to a clan system. What do you think about the information in here that they provided us with? So, in this, they talk about how there's going to be more ranks with specific roles and permissions, and just what do you think about what we've got here? It's not a lot, but it's more than we've ever got.
I haven't looked through this in a while since it came out. Clan shenanigans, cool. It's coming along. I guess I don't have a ton. PvP. I don't know how I feel about the. I mean, yeah, I'm still very torn on the wilderness, all the hub there. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's cool. The new LMS map looks cool. That's nice. But,
Yeah, everything they talk about in there is great.
Yeah. I don't know about the rest of the hub. It's very interesting. I don't know.
Having an established clan system is gonna be sweet.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing them kind of talk about the art style. That was because there's a little bit of inconsistency throughout the game. I really like the concept art for the Superior Hydra. That was very cool. Yeah, I guess there wasn't a ton going on. Did they mention in? No, I don't think they did.
Did they mention Group Iron Man?
Not specifically. Just obviously what we've already known is that the clan system has come out first, and then they can kind of kick the rest of the development in full gear for Iron Man.
Wonder if they could use Group Iron Man and the clan system similarly, like in the same path.
Yeah, that's basically kind of what's going on there. I think. Or at least
that code would be in the similar vein.
Yeah. One is required for the other.
For sure. So I'm looking forward to that. Like having an established clan system is going to be so good.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we weren't able to have the meeting that myself and a handful of others were going to be at Jagex for the clan system kind of like meeting and development, like focus group thing. I think that we would have been able to make a whole lot. Like, think of how much more progress there would be on the clan system if we would have been. Now, obviously, it's completely out of their hands. Nothing we can do about that, and it derailed the development of the clan system incredibly. But I'm glad to see that there's some progress that's being made on it. There just would have been so much more had the corona not came and hit and ruined everyone's everything.
Literally just ruined everything in the world.
It did, man. All my all expense paid London trip canceled, wedding canceled.
It's like the Fire Nation. Everything changed when the corona attack.
All right.
I'm pretty excited for it. The clan system's kind of lacking at the moment. As for the stuff they're gonna add, 15 wild or something, I don't know how good that's gonna be. It'll make things pretty easy to escape if people are trying to run from a team at Chins or something. But maybe that's what they're intending.
It's a little bit my worry, and also just moving LMS and Clan Wars.
Well, it'll still have a minigame telly, won't it?
I mean, it'll go into the wildy. But it's just in terms of changing it.
You'll be in a safe zone though. Like when you're out, you use the teleport, you'll be safe.
Isn't it just gonna be completely just barren in the desert there again? So is it just gonna be blank, or what's going on there?
I guess that's gonna be room for when they come out with Desert Treasure 2. They can put the quest start and all of the other stuff in that area. Then
actually, they could block it off from how you get to it currently and open it up from within the desert itself. That could be a thing. And then this is also a tiny, very niche thing, but technically it's another permanent nerf to speedrunning. Damn. Just like how you can't use PvP worlds on fresh free-to-play accounts.
What speedrun would it be a nerf to?
Yeah, because LMS, or not LMS, Clan Wars, you could also... actually, I don't even know. Because you could use the portal, obviously, for energy, and there's a bank there, and that would still exist, but I think you could also... I don't remember how the route is, but maybe if you wanted, you could also run straight and do other stuff in the desert.
Were you doing some quest speed running last week or something? A couple weeks ago?
Yeah, couple weeks ago.
What quest were you doing?
I was doing Artie Cloak 1 on an Iron Man with no multi-log, which I stopped at 58, 54, so under an hour.
Is that from Tutorial Island?
From tutorial on an Iron Man, no other assistance from other accounts, and that is currently open for if anyone can beat my time, which it can still be beaten by up to like 5 minutes. I have a bounty of 50 mil out for anyone that wants that. I might increase it to 100 mil. I might increase it to 100 mil. Because
I'll do it then.
So I haven't heard of anyone actually starting. Some people have said that they might be interested. Like if I put a time limit on it, like best within a certain period, but I kind of just want it to be beaten or whatever. So maybe I'll kick it to 100 mil.
That sounds fun.
Dude, if you're trying to give away 100 mil, I got like 180 mil runecraft and I still gotta buy.
Yeah, keep in mind though that it's a members run, so each run requires a bond.
Huge Prime in.
True.
Damn.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to give themselves, fuck it, 100 mil, I'll commit to that. If anyone wants 100 mil, go ahead, try.
God damn.
My favorite thing about the new client system is that they have named the smiley rank what they are, and that is wannabe.
Yeah.
That's the only comment I have on it. Well, I guess I'm glad there's a client system coming.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that the clan system is able to come out before like I quit. You know, because I think it's somewhere around like December 2021 to like March 2022. There's still not been a whole lot of progress thus far on it. You know, I think the mods are still working from home too, right? So not sure how slow the development's going to be. Just hoping that I can get a sweet taste of it before retirement.
I think it'll probably be done sometime during this year.
I think that's pretty optimistic.
Now that they're actually looking at it, not just theoretically looking at it, and it's like, oh, we gotta wait on engine stuff, but they have everything they need. I think they're like actually working on it now.
I think that there's a lot of engine stuff that they still need to get in place before they're able to do what they want to do. But anyone else have any more on this?
Mort, did you have anything?
Oh no, not really.
All right, so before we move on, sorry. All right. Anyways, so before we move on, I just want to touch on they mentioned leagues within this. So there was a tiny bit of stuff on Twitter. They're trying to like get a tiny bit of hype. Like I think it was Flippy. It's like, ooh, one of the tasks is gonna be kill a goblin, and there's a specific number of blanks to maybe have people try to guess what it is. I think they changed the name. It was originally like 12 characters. Now it's like 8 characters or whatever for whatever league. Wait, how many characters are in vanilla? Vanilla. No, that's 7. But then here in the blog as well, it's mentioned, and something they have now that I think they're going to be using that they didn't use before is having save data carry over between leagues. So we'll see exactly how that goes. If it's just going to be like one occasional league, or maybe they're going to be doing like 2 leagues closer together with the save data carrying over. I don't know what's going to happen there. But yeah, keep a lookout for that in not too long.
Good shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so getting to the end of the podcast here, one of the submitted topics we had was what games do you guys play? What games do you guys play? Any other game, if any, apart from old school? If so, do you spend much time playing it, or when you do you feel like you're wasting time because of XP?
Yeah, I play EverQuest 2, which is kind of like a traditional MMORPG. The EverQuest series is like a precursor to World of Warcraft. So it's like Tab Target, Hotbar. Yeah, EverQuest 2 is sweet, but I never logging out of old school.
That was like the original MMO, wasn't it?
Yeah, for real. Like when that game came out, most computers couldn't even run it on medium. Like,
I think I remember looking up some videos about the original EverQuest.
Oh, and so I'm playing EverQuest 2, like the classic or their old school server. So I'm not playing on their live server. We're only like 2 maybe 3 expansions in right now, and so it's still like very old school, very fresh, and I kind of like fresh start RPGs, like MMOs.
Big
But yeah,
up on
I'm not. Oh, what was that?
some big ups on them doing that, so that they've
Yeah,
so that's a successful business model. That's the successful thing to do that people are interested in.
for sure.
Yeah,
And they're calling it time lock.
wow, you have this. People like it.
And so, like, I'm never logging out of RuneScape, but sometimes we have raid nights, so like Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. It takes more of my attention for 2 or 3 hours, but yeah, even then, I'm still doing AFK stuff on the side. So
I mean, it's
maybe I'm
organized.
not playing, maybe not playing alts during that, but for the most part, yeah, it doesn't take away a whole bunch of my time.
I'd say like the games that I play right now on this, you know, I'm then like Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, but I just use an emulator and play that on the computer, like on the side. Call of Duty Mobile, like play, but like I'd be like cutting redwoods on my main, and like anytime I die, I would just like click, like switch over. But so I have like the tablet and the phone set up, so like play on my phone, and then like be wood cutting on the tablet, and then just like when I die, just drop the logs, click again. Kind of like where I'm at with other games right now. Definitely looking forward to all the other ones that I have on an ever growing, endless list for post retirement. But um certainly, I guess I don't feel like I'm wasting time if I'm playing other games. Just having fun.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. It's always just whenever you're having fun. That's what matters. But in terms of like actual, like serious long term playing, I'm not playing any other game in that sense. Like I've considered maybe at some point like going back and playing some Maple Story at the same time, just doing AFK stuff at the same time. I'm always pretty much just like AFKing right now. I haven't done a ton of serious plays since I finished Slayer, honestly. It's mostly been like Nightmare Zone, Redwoods, AFK Barb, so like maybe a couple months since that's, I don't know, not that much. But it's really just been temporary games to speedrun. So like I'm working on one thing speedrunning right now. Then after I'm done with that, I'm gonna move back to the game I was playing previously. Maybe one other after that.
What
Then
ones?
maybe after. So right now, no one takes it seriously. It's really not a high quality. You'll see me stream it. It's very just a Twitch meme game. And then when I'm done with this one, I'll go back to Ori and the Will-O-Wisps. That's a really pretty good one. Then maybe I'll do another RuneScape category. But then after that, unless I think of something else, I'll probably either go back to like actual proper RuneScape, or I don't know. We'll see.
I play 2 other games. I play Final Fantasy and I play StarCraft 2. I usually don't feel like I'm wasting time when I'm playing them, because like if I feel like I'm wasting time when I'm playing a game, I just won't play the game. Like if it's not fun, I won't be playing it. And yeah, I usually just do AFK stuff on RS, like on my Iron.
It's nice. You play StarCraft 2.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah,
I
so
used to play that way back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Right, so like I don't have a problem with like if I wasn't playing skate, but most of the stuff that I have been doing, I've kind of centered around making sure that I can do the same. Like for all my speed runs, I've always been either in Nightmare Zone or I've been at Redwoods. But like if I couldn't do something AFK at the same time, like if I was 200 mil woodcut right now, I don't know if I would be doing other stuff. Maybe not. Slightly less likely.
See, so like I'm looking at my list of like games to play after I retire, and like some Call of Duties like just for like the zombies is like up at the top of the list there, and then like Red Dead Redemption 2, Jedi Fallen Order, a couple Dragon Ball games like Monster Hunter World, and The Witcher 3 would be what's kind of at the like top for games to play after RuneScape.
Monster Hunter is good shit. You'll like that.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. to be much more casual with some of this shit. Gotta shift focus from RuneScape to like a little bit more casual play on other games, and then do some more real life shit, I guess. But all right, so what's last topic here? What's everyone been up to during the podcast?
Right now I'm finishing 190 mil smithing while I'm finishing another alt, but mainly I'm doing fishing right now. 165 should be finishing next month.
Beast.
So I've usually been doing redwoods, but it's like this is slightly more efficient doing AFK barbs. So I'm out here putting in work, disappointing Ook.
5-tick barb is one of the most soothing methods in the game.
It's so comfy.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like you got that big AFK, but it's also like you can kind of gauge there's less RNG in terms of like how long each inventory is, and then you drop it. But redwoods, you can literally be at one spot. If you forget to click, you can log out.
I had that
then
happen
cut
while I
in
was on.
the
I had that happen while I was on packing last week.
I'm doing 2-tick teaks on my ult right now.
Oh.
Just doing volcanic mine, having fun. Got a guy currently that looks like he might have disconnected in the middle here. Emiru, Emiiru. He was just like standing idling for like 15 seconds, and then failed to make a platform when he got here. Up there it is. Yeah,
It's a female Twitch streamer's name. We have a simp on our hands.
MED?
So be hitting 45 mil mining this week. Trying to get like, once I get my desk in place next week, then I think I'll really be able to start getting back to trying to play like 50 hours a week. So we'll see kind of what's going after that. I mean, I've been getting like for the last like 2 weeks since I moved in, I've been getting like 30 EHP weeks, and I'd like to step that up by like closer to like 45. So
Just got.
yeah.
Yeah, just got 60 mil runecraft about half a minute ago, but yeah, just been doing some soul runes during the podcast. Yeah, 60.
Nice.
Yeah, slowly creeping up there. Yeah, it's a kind of a grind.
All right, so the next Hexis podcast, looking to be around. Let's see, well, in 2 weeks it's July 4th, so we're not doing that. So God bless America. We're looking to look for July 11th or 12th for the next Hexis podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Hexis for updates on when that's going to be going on, and join the Hexis Discord. There'll be a bot set up in there today or tomorrow on being able to submit your topic submissions in there, and us you guys shout outs for your submissions. I think that'd be much better than the like fill out the Google form thing. So definitely look forward to that. Join the Discord. Check out the site. And stay safe, stay hydrated. God bless America.